Do 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 do. Hey, how's it going? It's Nancy Gamon. Do you ever wake up with crazy pictures in your head? One morning I woke up with a pile of heads in my head, so I turned the image into an art piece called Upon Waking. I started with a large sheet of paper the same size as the finished piece. So it was 36 inches tall by 24 inches wide, and I drew onto the paper the shapes and positions of the heads and how I wanted the piece to look. Then I used a straight edge and divided the paper into 36 equal parts that were each 4 inches tall by 6 inches wide, which is about the same size as a standard fabric postcard. So I cut those papers into the pieces and used each one as a pattern. The piece is constructed on Timtex or Peltex, which is a really thick, stiff interfacing that is often used to create fabric postcards. So I essentially made 36 individual art pieces using the paper patterns as a guide. And I had several different kinds of fabrics in different values, lights and mediums, and then a dark blue for the background. And by working with each piece individually, I didn't know what was going to be around it. I just chose fabrics at random, and then when I put the piece all back together, I had a surprise, and it looked kind of funky and things weren't right. And so then I set about working on the piece as a whole and correcting the values. I did lots and lots of hand embroidery and machine stitching with free motion embroidery to lay down some lighter values into the golden mask areas. And it ended up, the process of correcting the values ended up creating all of this rich texture and detail that I really enjoy about the piece now. So once I had it all together and worked with it to correct the values, then I did go ahead and add in a little bit of paint to create shadows in certain areas, and added the ribbons for the nose and so forth. And I just was really pleased with how the final piece came together. It was a huge project and a lot of detail work on the masks, but it was totally worth it. If you'd like to experiment together, head on over to my website at nancygamon.com, where you can check out the current list of workshops. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.